Hello, this is Arian from 27 Collective. I'm happy to share that the first beta version of Voxel 1.5 releases today. The Voxel 1.5 is a massive update, and as I've shared before, we will have a 1 week-long beta period starting from today, and the final stable version, we aim to release it by the end of the year. If you've been following my posts on Facebook, you know that the update is focused on two main aspects. The first one improves the core of Voxel. So that includes things that you use all the time when building a Voxel site, such as dynamic tags, conditions, and so on. And the second focus is the new timeline add-on. The new timeline is a powerful kit to add social features to your Voxel site, from simple things such as comments or reviews to building a full community site. All of that can be done using the timeline by combining it with the rest of Voxel functionality. We are also in the process of creating a demo which showcases most of the features of this add-on. The add-on will become available with the second beta, which is scheduled for early next week. Let's get started. I'm going to edit the single post template for one of our post types. I'm going to go to Design, Stays, and added the single post template. As you know, one of the key features of Voxel are the Voxel dynamic tags. What the tags allow you to do is pull different data from the database and use them to populate your design. This way, you can use the page builder to create your own design, and then at the end, just populate various widgets with dynamic data. Let's select the title here and press Edit Tags. And this is the new Voxel Dynamic Tags UI. Let's delete this. So on the left side here, all the different sources from which you can pull data from are shown. And you can actually drag and drop any tag to the dynamic content area and save changes. And then the content from that field is displayed, in this case, the post title. Let's go back. I'm gonna delete this tag. So apart from drag and dropping, you can also press Add in the content area, search for the tag you want, and press Enter to add it. And this produces the same results. Let's continue. So apart from adding dynamic tags here, we can also write plain text and combine it with dynamic tags to create some sentence. For example, we can type list post was created and then search for the post date. And let's say changes, and we get a complete sentence. The next thing we're gonna do is change the format of this date. Let's edit tags again. And to format the date, we have to apply a mod to this dynamic tag. We do that by clicking on the dynamic tag, and on the right sidebar, we can add mods to this tag. In this case, we're gonna pick the time diff mod and type ago. Let's save changes. And now we have a more natural sentence being output. So apart from adding the mod using the user interface, we can also do it in a quicker way. To quickly add a mod to a tag, you can just type dot after the tag and then search, in this case, time diff. And let's save changes. And this is the same output as before, just done in a faster way. There are a lot of mods to cover different use cases and data types that we're gonna get into in a moment. Mods are not a new concept in Voxel, so I'm not gonna cover all of them in this video. However, I'm gonna cover some of the new ones and different capabilities surrounding them. Right now, we are editing the single post template for the stays post type. And to showcase the first mod, I'm gonna first edit this listing, change the price to 1200 and save changes. Back to the editor. What I'm gonna do next is select the heading widget, and here we're gonna pull the price of this apartment. The first new mod I'm gonna show is the abbreviate mod. Let's edit tags. And as I mentioned before, we can either add mods to the UI here, or we can just press dot and then search for the mod we want. In this case, we pick abbreviate number and save changes. And the output now is 1.2K instead of 1200. Let's continue. I'm gonna edit tags again, and I'm gonna remove this abbreviate mod and instead add a currency format mod and pick the currency. Let's save changes. And now the currency and formatting is applied to the price. Let's continue. I'm going to edit tags and remove it. And now I'm going to add a conditional mod that checks if the price is greater than 1,000. So to do that, I'm going to add the is greater mod and then type 1,000. And if it's greater than 1,000, I want to output some text. So I'm going to type then and type the price is too high. Let's save changes. So because the price is 1,200, the output is the price is too high. For this price tag, we have added two mods. We check if it's greater than 1,000 and then output this text if it is. So when you apply mods, you can see this string is being created. This might seem overwhelming at first, but keep in mind that you don't have to write this. It's automatically generated. So for example, if I change the value here to 10,000, it's automatically updated here. But at some point, when you get to an advanced level of Voxel, you will memorize all of these things and then quickly write the what we call Voxel script without using the UI at all. So in this case, just press dot is greater than and type 1,000. Let's continue with another example. I'm gonna edit this post type, go to fields, and I'm gonna add a text field. And let's name it something and save changes. And now inside the editor, we're gonna delete this and output that field. So press add and search for something. Save changes. So right now the field is empty and it will not output anything. And now we're gonna apply a fallback mod, press dot and search for fallback and type another thing. Save changes. And now because the field is empty, the fallback is displayed. So adding a static value as fallback was available in the previous versions of Voxel. A new capability now is you can add the dynamic tag as a fallback. So let's add the fallback mod again. And let's say I want to display a different tag. Let's search for author username. Save changes. So now when the dynamic tag is empty, the output will be that fallback dynamic tag. But let's say if the fallback of this original tag is also empty, it will not happen for usernames, but it will happen for some other tag. So in that case, you can add yet another fallback and then again, either type static text or select another dynamic tag, let's say ID. So the output will not change in this case because the second fallback exists, so that is being displayed. Let's continue. The next mod we're going to show is the replace mod. So let's say we want to find and replace a word in this sentence. Let's edit text, and we're going to apply a replace mod to this tag. And if we go to the right sidebar, we can see the mod has two parameters. First one is search, and then the replace. So for search, we're gonna type Amstel, and replace, we're gonna type redacted. Let's save changes. So now whenever that word is mentioned, it's replaced with the word redacted. Let's continue. So we can see down here, this apartment has 5 rooms. Let's quickly output this. Search for rooms and save. So we can see the output is 5. We're gonna showcase another conditional mod, which is between. So if we go to the UI, this mod also has 2 parameters, start and end. So for start, we're gonna put 4 and 10. And if this condition is true, we're gonna output this apartment has a lot of rooms. Save changes. And because the apartment has 5 rooms, the output is this sentence. Let's scroll down. So down here we are displaying the amenities for this apartment. And let's say we want to display the number of amenities here. let's enable dynamic tags. We're gonna pull amenities, and we're gonna add a new mod named count all, and save changes. And the output is 8, so we can create a sentence. This apartment has 8 amenities. So the count mod works for any dynamic tag that is loopable. So that includes taxonomies, repeaters, dates, and so on. The next thing we're going to show is how to do math calculations using dynamic tags. So I'm going to edit tags here, delete this. And as a first example, let's just do a simple calculation. I'm going to type at and search for math and press enter. And inside the brackets, I can do any sort of calculation, let's say 2.3. And the output will be the sum. So you can use static numbers here, but also you can use dynamic tags and do calculations between them. So for example, here we have the area of this apartment, which is 145 square meters, and the price is $900 per night. So we can use dynamic tags to calculate price per square meter. So let's type the price of this apartment is, type math. And first we're gonna pull the price and divide it by area. So the output is the price of this apartment is 6.2. We can also round up the number. And in the mod options, we can specify how many decimals, let's say 1, and save. And of course, we can add the currency and specify per square meter per night. So the final sentence is the price of this apartment is $6.2 per square meter per night. You can do even more advanced math calculations, but we will detail those in our documentation. For example, you can calculate the circumference of a circle by pressing at math, then type the formula, which is 2 pi r. So in this case, 2 times pi times r, and let's say r is 30, and this will give us the circumference. Let's proceed. So one thing we did not mention is the conditional mods. For example, is equal to, is greater than, now also support dates and not just numbers as it was the case before. And also there are some new conditionals. For example, does not contain, is between, which we mentioned before, and is unchecked. And also when you pick is greater, then here you can pick greater than or equal comparison. Let's proceed. So in the navigator here, you can see next to some widgets, there is this yellow icon. What this tells you, there are visibility rules applied to that widget or container. And if you click on it, you quickly go to the visibility rules screen in the widget area. And then you can edit rules here. So this way you can easily tell which elements have visibility rules applied to them. Another feature in this regard is ability to copy-paste visibility rules. So you can copy visibility rules from this container and paste them to this other container. And if we check the rules here, we can see the condition that was applied to this container is now applied to this as well. Similar to visibility rules, when you enable loops for an element, the icon will let you know that there are loops enabled. So let's quickly test this. I'm gonna loop this container based on a random field, and you can see this icon lets you know that the loops are enabled. Let's remove it. Let's now explore the new dynamic tags UI. I'm gonna select this widget, go to visibility and edit rules. So the first thing you do here is pick a condition. These are the same conditions that you may be already familiar with if you used Voxel. It's just that there is now a new UI and some new capabilities. So for example, let's pick user role list, and then you can pick role. Then add another condition, user membership plan is, select. And because these two conditions are within the same rule group, the logic between them is and. And for our logic, you can add another rule group and add other conditions in it. Let's delete these. So for more advanced conditions, you can pick dynamic tag, and here there is an input which supports voxel script, so you can press add and pick any tag. For example, title, and then select a comparison is empty. So in this case, we are hiding this widget if the post title is empty. Another capability when adding conditions by dynamic tag is comparing different dynamic tags against each other. So, for example, let's pick a tag here. Let's say title. And then we can do a comparison, for example, contains. And then previously we could only input static value here. For example, a particular word. But now you can actually compare it against other dynamic tags. Let's see one more example before we move on. So I mentioned before the count all tag, which displays the count of any loopable property. So for example, in this case, we have a gallery field. And if we apply the count mod and save, it tells us how many images are uploaded to this listing. And apart from displaying this, we can actually use this as a condition. So for example, we have this gallery widget, and we don't want to display the widget if there is only one image. In that case, maybe we want a simple image widget instead. So to hide this gallery widget, if the image count is 1, we can go to visibility rules, select show with, edit rules, select dynamic tag, find the gallery, any of the tags related to the gallery, and then press dot to count the number of items. And this will return the number of items, and now we can compare it. So let's say is greater than, and press 1. Save changes. So let's view in front end. Right now there are 4 images, so the gallery is being displayed. But if we keep only 1 image, then the widget should go away, as you can see. Also, the possibilities when combining visibility rules with dynamic tags and mods are almost limitless. And I'm sure there's going to be tons of stuff that people are going to discover that we didn't even account for. So this first beta version of Voxel 1.5 includes all the improvements done to the core. Early next week, we're going to release the second beta, which will include the new timeline add-on. Until then, don't forget to like, share, or retweet, and reply. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.